So a couple of Pokemon on Ryan's side. Chorus Experiment, Nest Ball, Battle VIP. What do you think on Aidan Khus? A lot of Pokemon search I can see.
A lot of Pokemon search, a couple energies, that chorus, the battle VIP pass. It's going to be a little bit rough, but as long as Aidan has a good starting hand, anything's possible. Ryan having that one Kirlia and that Gardevoir in the prize cards could be detrimental, but if you're able to get a fast start, we've seen some quick scream tails with these Guardies trying to just take prizes pretty fast. We'll have to see how things shape up, but here we go. Finals. Winner of this match will punch their ticket to Honolulu.
All right, looks like Ryan Antonucci is going to start us off. He opens up with a level ball, does have Zacian V in the active, is a big psychic Pokemon, can go for the Roar of the Sword to get energy turn 1. So not too bad there, should be able to retreat it as long as there is an attachment for turn or even potentially attack. Ryan right now going for a, doing a quick deck check and something I do want to talk about. Jeremy, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Tempting Trap.
Yeah, it's something that has to be on the mind for Ryan and Aidan here. Aidan has won plenty of games with that quick little Mawile, and starting the Zacian, pretty good.
Yes.
You can attack with that. So it is not a Jirachi, Manaphy, or Radiant Greninja. Ryan's going to have to kind of play around that the entire game, and with no Jirachi in play, that's going to open up some Sableye plays later on for Aidan.
That is true. So phase 1 of avoiding the Tempting Trap complete. Don't start bad.
Yep.
We do have a psychic Pokemon. There's the attachment for turn. What else can Ryan do for us here at the finals? Might just be a Roar of the Sword, getting the second energy on the Zacian V. Aidan Khus starting with the Pidgeot V. Not the most ideal starter. Big high five there, though.
You love to see the camaraderie between both of these players. They did play back in Charlotte just a couple weeks ago, where Aidan just did not draw the cards needed. 2 games in a row, not really doing much. And then for this event, Ryan actually played Aidan in the last round of Swiss, and Ryan gave the win to Aidan to get them both into top cut. Ryan was already locked up, but they're on opposite sides of the bracket, and now meeting here in the finals, Aidan on paper has a very good matchup against this Gardevoir deck, so we'll have to see how things go.
Well, again, starting with the Pidgeot V, not the greatest, but does open up with a Battle VIP pass, the strongest card in the game, just for the first turn of the game. Looks like eyeing up a couple of comp phase, because we definitely got to select some flowers. Again, goal of the game for Aidan should be get those in the active, and it begins with getting them on the bench.
Yeah, so with the way Ryan had played his last turn, opted to keep the Fog Crystal in hand for a potential Mirage Step angle. But because of that, there's the possibility of a Escape Rope Cramorant play from Aidan's side of the board if he has everything in hand. That means 2 Flower Selectings, the Retreat to the Cramorant, and a Chorus's Experiment.
That definitely would be scary. But again, haven't quite gotten a peek at Aidan's hand. We got to see what he's cooking here. Again, you want to see the Chorus Experiment. Always what you want to see as a Lost Zone deck. Haven't quite seen it just yet. Come on, show us, Aidan. Let's cook.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Escape Rope's going to be probably the biggest card out of that scenario, just trying to get that Ralts into the active spot and try to take it out. Now, looking at the hand, there is the Escape Rope, and the Chorus Experiment, so this is going to be a pretty good turn for Aidan. Let's see if he finds the cards he needs out of these 5.
All right, Chorus Experiment draws 5, can send 2 to the Lost Zone, 3 to the hand. What's it going to be, Aidan? Again, does have his 2 here. Can't quite see. I see a switch card as the choice. Looks like Energy Recycler is going to be 1 sent to the Lost Zone, potentially. And an Escape Rope. Looks like opting to keep the Dragonite. Good choices here. Again, Ryan must see the Escape Rope and must be sweating a little bit just because there is another one as we go ahead and go into Flower Selecting, sending the Psychic Energy to the Lost Zone.
Picking up a Psychic. Pretty easy decision. Has the Switch card or Switch in hand as well. Another Flower Selecting. Ooh. Forest Seal Stone going to the Lost Zone.
That's intimidating.
That could have been a way just to grab the Cramorant right now, but
I think the choice was between the Forest Seal Stone or the Kyogre.
Oh, okay.
So, more of no choice there. Again, you only play one of the Kyogre. Did play the Pokestop there. Got a Pal Pad. Not much else, though.
Yeah. Was there a choice, though? Like, you could have just taken a knockout on the lone Ralts. But now just passing the turn with no attack, you do have that Comfey set up with an energy to retreat on the following turn. But Ryan's going to have a pretty good turn himself here. Already has the Mirage Step Kirlia in hand, although does have another Kirlia in hand to go along with it. So with the one prize, I think this Mirage Step's only going to get one.
That's not a very good Mirage. That's
No,
just a
yeah,
clone. That's just one clone.
Yeah, no.
As we do see the Psychic Energy grab there for the Fog Crystal. Again, Mirage Step normally is very powerful. Would you still go for it here? Maybe, would you try and protect the Ralts, maybe?
Yeah, you could have the option to retreat, evolve into that Refinement Kirlia, discard the Battle VIP Pass, hope to draw something that finds you more Ralts.
Because at the end of the day, they are going to basically end up with one Kirlia at the end of this turn, potentially. But we'll have to see.
There's also the option of using the Pokestop. It's going to be risky, but you can use it.
Can you imagine, though, using the Pokestop and getting rid of the last Kirlia in the deck?
Yeah. Well, you could probably go that route if you evolve into the Refinement instead. But here, Ryan opts for that Mirage Step and will be able to get two Kirlia in play. But I think that's going to be a sigh of relief for Aidan.
Yes, not the strongest turn here for Ryan, but does end up with a Kirlia on the bench. As we pass on over to Aidan. Aidan is going to go ahead and use the Pokestop. He's able to get a Mirage Gate.
Ooh.
Just a Mirage Gate. Two supporters going down to the discard pile. What else has Aidan got?
Aidan only plays 6 supporters total, so seeing a third of them hit the wayside by that Pokestop has to be rough. But having the Pal Pad in hand makes it a little better.
Yeah, we can correct that.
Yeah,
That never happened.
Yeah, we just drew one card, discarded a card from our hand. It's fine.
The funny thing is the Pal Pad was actually drawn from the Pokestop as
that's
well.
right. Yeah.
So the Pokestop giveth, and the Pokestop taketh away.
And then it giveth again.
As again, Aidan still has access to a couple more flower selectings. Hasn't played a supporter yet, just yet. It's gonna have to be the flower selecting. Can we draw the Chorus Experiment? Mirage Gate sent to Lost Zone, and it's the Forest Seal Stone.
There we go.
Again, that could be anything Aidan wants in the deck.
It could even be a boat.
Maybe not that, but it could be a Chorus's Experiment. But we're going to go ahead and flower selecting one more time here. Couldn't quite see the grab. Looks like it was a Psychic Energy.
It was that water. Already had the Psychic from the previous turn, but really just prioritizing keeping as much energy in the deck as possible. And here we see that Star Alchemy being able to find that Chorus's Experiment yet again, building up this Lost Zone. Already at 6, going to be up to 8, and it's just turn 2.
8. A lot of stuff can happen here. Would you say maybe a Greninja could be a possibility?
That would be insane. Now, was the Greninja in the prize cards? Like, it might have been, but we'll see.
Again, but that would be very scary, losing both the Kirlias. It looks like it is going to be the Chorus Experiment here. What is the grab? A couple Battle VIP Pass should be an easy send there to the Lost Zone. But what else? And again, and the Roxanne.
Yeah, that's the one of Roxanne in this list. That means there's not going to be any sort of disruption coming from Aidan's side of the field for this game 1. Did opt to keep the Cramorant, though, so that will be an attacker for right now.
Ooh, there it is. The Spit Innocently Cramorant. Just a reminder, again, if you have 4 cards in the Lost Zone, this attack's for free. Does 110. More than enough to knock out this Kirlia. Aidan, I believe, has already retreated for the turn. So he is going to have to pay that. Use the switch card there to retreat to the Cramorant.
Yeah, good catch there, but Aidan having the card needed to be able to get that Cramorant in the active spot to take a knockout.
Drops the Sableye as well. Maybe just trying to play around a potential Iono. Do you think it's time for this Pidgeot to fly away?
It can, yeah. And I don't think Aidan has attached for turn before that. Water had it from the previous turn, ending it with it in the active spot.
Yes. Yes, I believe that was the case. The previous energy was attached earlier in the previous turn. So this energy attachment should be fine.
Did I double attach?
We are just double checking here. Gotta make sure we play a nice, clean game.
Good on Aidan, too, to kind of just clarify and make sure he's in the right here.
Definitely. Worst case scenario, again, it's just no change in the board state, really. But we'll have to see. Again, wait for the judge
When
call.
I treated, I put the water energy in the discard pile. There's one in it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's kind of second-guessing himself,
And then
but
usually I retreat, so I play the
he
discard.
retreated, but that attachment was from the previous turn, so we should be good to go here. And Aidan having the Cramorant in the active spot already has the knockout on this Curlia, and Ryan is really slim on resources here. Boss's orders off the top of the deck isn't really going to do too much. Hopefully finding something on this Refinement.
Refinement does find them the Gardevoir EX, which, yes, it is an integral part of this deck, but that means you're getting rid of your only draw. Zacian in the active, though, could almost attack.
Almost, but is there an energy in the hand? The Artazone was found along with that Gardevoir EX off the Refinement, so this will at least get rid of that Pokestop and find Ryan another Ralts here.
Does get another ult again. Ryan cannot grab any of his support Pokemon. Can't grab the Jirachi, can't grab the Manaphy. So Ralt's really the only choice there. I don't think I saw an energy in hand, so it might have to be an evolution into the Gardevoir EX just to attack here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it, but I think you kind of have to do it. Just keep applying pressure as you can, and there we go, Gardevoir EX. Ryan has just one Psychic Energy in the discard, but that's all that's needed for the Zacian V to start attacking and taking knockouts. Now,
there it is, the Psychic Embrace on the Gardevoir EX, allowing the attachment from the discard pile, 20 damage onto the Zacian V. And yes, that's going to be a Storm Slash, potentially 4 knockouts. But again, Sporter hasn't been played for turns.
Still has access to a boss's orders, could bring up that Comfey with the energy just to kind of get rid of the pivot that Aidan has. Not going to be enough to take a knockout on the Pidgeot V, so yeah. Comfey with the energy gets taken out by that Zacian. Ryan finds Curlia, which is actually pretty good right now. Already had one in hand, though.
That is true. But again, at least there should be some draws this next turn. Aidan now does draw for turn, has quite the big hand. It's only going to get bigger with this Chorus Experiment. A lot of cards, a lot of choices. I'm sure Ryan would love to see something like an Iono in the coming turns. More importantly as well, Aidan's now at 10 cards in the Lost Zone. This is what Aidan, where Aidan wants to be.
Yeah, this is very scary for Ryan. If this Sableye starts attacking this turn, it's going to be able to take a knockout on the Ralts on the bench and then just start spreading damage between these two Pokemon that are left over. And the way Ryan's hand is, there's no draw power, no supporter, and would just be relying off the top card of the deck.
Aidan here using the Artazone, Ryan's Artazone, to try and find a basic Pokemon. Good find themselves another Comfey. Always good to have, just sitting on the bench there.
Trying to make yourself a little Iono proof here, but again, Ryan has not seen any of those.
That's for sure. As we do see a flower selecting here, it's a Manaphy or another card. Looks like Manaphy is going to go into the Lost Zone. That means Screamtail could maybe do some work later down the line.
Yeah, the active Comfey also almost went into the Lost Zone as well. Just spanning the board, so many cards.
I'm sure Aidan doesn't need more. We're at 10. As, again, just checking the discard pile. Aidan's just played so many cards, and he's going to play even more with this Pokestop. Draws two. The Radiant Greninja was in the deck.
Just unable to find it with any of the cards.
Again, Aidan did prize a couple of ball searches.
Yeah, so 2 Nest Ball, only plays 3 total, and if you don't have that Battle VIP pass on that turn 1 to grab that Radiant Greninja, it's almost impossible to find.
Yes, as we do see, it is just sent to the discard pile with the Pokestop, but Aidan does have ways to recur Pokemon. But right now, Sableye is the name of the game. Great attacker here with the Lost Mine attack, able to put 12 damage counters anywhere he wants. Switch card into the Sableye. Where is this damage going?
70 on the Ralts to get rid of it. You even see Ryan bringing that 70 damage over. And just shutting off the access to potential Curlias is so important. Now you can get 5 on this Gardevoir, kind of soften it up maybe, but it's going to be a little bit short from a Dragonite, Dragon Gale later on. You could put more damage on the active Zacian just to shut off maybe more energy coming down from Psychic Embrace.
Looks like there's a split. 1 damage there on the Gardevoir. And Ryan, you just know that's a sign of weakness there when you have to use your opponent's Pokestop.
Yeah.
And only getting the rare candy. I mentioned earlier, Jeremy, that there's going to be drawing this turn. I was wrong.
Yeah, well, there was drawing for the turn.
One draw.
And that was it, yeah.
As
Collapse Stadium is not really going to be that beneficial here, but Ryan's just able to take the knockout yet again and still is in a very bad position, at least the way the board looks.
Yeah, definitely by board, Aidan is looking very, very good. Ryan only having 2 Pokemon. Technically, in prizes, they're tied. But Aidan just has so many more options. Looks like Aidan's going into the Pidgeot. Interesting choice there. Do you think the Pidgeot can attack?
It can. It does 160, I believe, if there's a stadium in play. And I might be wrong, but still just something that can soak up a hit, maybe.
As Super Rod is played, putting back the Radiant Greninja and a couple of energy. Maybe we could see, maybe Aidan drew a Nest Ball here. No, it's going to be the Mirage Gate. Let's see what he's powering up. Lightning Energy and Water Energy could be going on to the Pidgeot V.
So this is a strategy we saw mostly in, I believe it was Pittsburgh, maybe Peoria. It was the one where Raymond Long won with Kyogre. He also utilized the Pidgeot V. And so it's just a Pokemon that can soak up damage. And if there's a stadium in play, it does 80 more. But I think you have to have the stadium, so it only does 80 right now. But the important part is it's not going to get knocked out next turn. There's no way to discard a bunch of energies from Ryan's side, attach them to the Zacian V, take the knockout. And yeah, all right. Well, if you have a stadium in play, yeah, maybe we'll find out, I guess.
We'll have to see
Takes
here.
the knockout.
But either way, yes, this Pidgeot V did attack here with the Flight Surf. And if you have a stadium play, this attack does 80 more damage. Interesting here, as the stadium is bumped as well.
Yeah, from the worker. So we'll basically have to see how things go. But at least from my understanding, it was if you have a stadium in play. I could be completely wrong. But.
Luckily, we do have judges on the floor there, as Ryan is going to go for the Level Ball. Yes, Level Ball. Searching through the deck, could find themselves at least a Ralt here. I think we're here. We're double checking now. The Pidgeot V, again, not a typical attacker in any deck, really.
Yeah. So basically, the whole point of Aidan is hoping to get the knockout there, and then just take a hit from this Gardevoir EX, and then Vanishing Wings the Pidgeot V back into the deck. But this could be interesting. Now, the judges are discussing it with the players. They read the Pidgeot, and they are potentially looking up the ruling here. But
yes, again, it's that specific wording in a lot of these cards, and it is that one word, you. You have a stadium in play. And unfortunately, I think the concern there was it wasn't your stadium, it's Ryan's stadium.
Well, welcome back to the 70-30, Wancho. You almost escaped it.
I feel at home already. But yes, again, this was a very niche scenario mix-up. Pidgeot V, literally the first time I've ever seen it attack, and it's been in the format for quite a bit.
Yeah, I've seen it attack a few times, but I'm pretty sure it's if you have the stadium in play, like the card reads, because you don't own the stadium if it's your opponent's.
Yeah, you have to own the stadium. I believe that's going to be the case. But again, the judges are discussing it here. Either way, I think Aidan was just such in a powerful position there, even without that knockout, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was just kind of semantics here. But I think they're maybe asking if Aidan had like a stadium in hand, could have bumped it, but
I don't think I saw a stadium in hand, unfortunately.
Yeah, so now they're getting the 2 cards that were drawn from the prize cards, and this could be interesting because Aidan technically saw cards that he shouldn't have. Most of the time when that happens, it's a double prize loss. That would mean that Ryan would just need 1 knockout on a 2-prizer like this Pidgeot V to be able to win this game 1.
That's true. And right now, the Pidgeot V is in the active.
Yeah.
And there was a Zacian in the active as well. It's going to need a couple of energies to knock out that Pidgeot V, but it is damaged. Should have around 80 damage plus the 20, I believe, from the Gardevoir EX. So is it possible to get this knockout?
Yeah, so there was 60 damage on that Zacian V plus the 80, so 140. That means you can attach up to 3 more energies.
And
so that's 6 energies.
That's just enough.
That is. But I don't think there was a way to get the energies in the discard. That's the big thing.
Yes, definitely without the refinement Curlias, it is very tough to get energies into the discard pile. Maybe, but there is access to stuff like Ultra Ball potentially, or even maybe playing a Professor's Research. But I believe Worker was the...
Yeah, Worker was the card played. Ryan, that was his only supporter, so not really anything mattering from that. But I think they're able to rewind this potentially to the point where Worker was played and Ryan started his turn. But I don't believe he remembers what 3 cards were drawn. And it's interesting because he also saw cards, but could have changed. And I'm just glad that I was not crazy in reading that Pidgeot V.
No, I believed in you. Actually, I'm looking at it right now as well, and I was thinking the exact same thing. That's why we did a little quick pause to not really rush the game a little bit.
Yeah, there's no tempting trap extra 90 damage here right now, all right? We're not getting surprised like that.
I think I was more surprised by the tempting trap than this extra damage from the Pidgeot, for sure, but...
Yeah. Oh, and we're actually hearing Aidan here kind of talk through what his play should have been. He's like, I 100% could have Dragon Gale that turn and taken the knockout. But the Pidgeot V trying to get a little cute here. And honestly, both players thought it was a knockout because you see Ryan there just scoop up the Zacian and put it in the discard.
Yeah, and again, it would have been a very, very cool play indeed. Like, why attack with something like a Dragonite that even damages your board when you can attack with this free Pidgeot V? Could even, once it's damaged, hide back into the deck. It does feel like the most optimal play. Just lacking one more card, unfortunately. And again, so only very, very few, if not only Aidan, can say he's attacked with Flight Surf at the finals of a regional championship. It's still true, just didn't take a knockout.
That is true. It'll be interesting to see if there is a DPL awarded for these players, but honestly, I would like to see a warning. Like, it seems like both players were kind of at fault here, but it really just depends on what they were saying and everything like that. We'll get confirmation on if anything has happened, but
looks like it is going to be a DPL here.
That's rough.
So Ryan is only going to need one more knockout to take this game.
Yeah, and with 140 damage on that Zacian, if there's 3 energies, I believe, in the discard, right, that's going to be able to
even 2 energies and 1 energy attachment.
So this is after the Worker got rid of the Collapse Stadium. Ryan found a Level Ball, so Level Ball can get this Scream Tail. Ooh, are we retreating to the Scream Tail? Charged it up with 2 energies, take a knockout of Comfey. That means you just need 1 more knockout to seal things up. This seems like a very easy route to victory for Ryan.
That might be the case here. Again, you don't want to hit into the Pidgeot V because, again, because of that Vanishing Wings ability, right? So, yeah, there we go. Looks like it is going to be the Scream Tail.
For turn. But it could have been something that was rewounded from this whole play. But Ryan still has the knockout here, retreating with those 2 energies. And this Scream Tail is going to be able to take a prize and inch Ryan closer to this Game 1 victory.
Very scary stuff. Aidan might really have to depend on this Pidgeot. But, oh, sorry, Aidan might have to really depend on this Pidgeot. As the Scream Tail is in the active, gets the knockout on the Comfey on the bench. Ryan 1 prize away from taking this game 1. Aidan draws for turn. Let's see what he has here. Again, could go for a lot of plays here. There is a lot of cards in hand.
Yeah, I think with the way the board is set, though, it's pretty much over. You can attach a couple energies. Zacian, take a knockout on anything like Sableye that might come up and try to clean up some of the damage. If Sableye does come down and takes a knockout on the Zacian V and the Scream Tail, the Gardevoir EX just gets 2 energies charged to it, takes the knockout.
Yeah, just has to be, again, a bigger Pokemon, as we do see the Greninja V hit the field. Radiant Greninja, excuse me, hit the field. Do see an Energy Enhance, so they should be able to conceal cards. Has access to Mirage Gate as well here. Is there any way Aidan can come back from this?
Maybe just keep attacking with this Pidgeot V. It's the one thing that can't really be knocked out by this Gardevoir on the bench. Zacian, with all that damage, can't be knocked out, or can't knock out the Pidgeot V with more Psychic Embraces.
Looks like Aidan has other plans, though, opting to retreat.
Yeah, you can always just attack with Dragonite's first attack, take a knockout.
Yeah, opting to bench the Jirachi as well here. It's just going to be Vanishing Wings, putting the Pidgeot back into the deck. Again, and everything attached to it, so all those energies can easily Mirage Gate into this Dragonite and could attack with, again, Dragon Gale, 250 damage, but you do damage all your bench Pokemon, 20 damage apiece. As, again, Aidan just lacking one more water energy to get this attack off. I think it's more than enough to knock out. Oh, no, you just have to shred.
Yeah. Has the shred with that Dragonite V to be able to take the knockout on that Scream Tail. I know Ryan has Counter Catcher in hand, but needs something like a Boss's Orders with the prizes being tied up. Because, yeah, the hand's just not doing anything. 3 Rare Candy, double Curlia, double Counter Catcher, Psychic Energy. He could just damage this Dragonite and force Aidan to find another attacker yet again.
Could be the case here. But again, deciding what to promote. Looks like it is going to be the Zacian V. Again, Storm Slash does 60 damage, plus 30 for each Psychic Energy attached. And again, you mentioned earlier, we can't reach the 220 threshold, as the draw for turn is Gardevoir EX. Not the best. But it's going to be Psychic Embrace here, attaching from the discard pile. So putting even more damage into this Zacian V. Is going to at least be able to do 150 damage onto the Zacian.
Yeah, but that Gardevoir EX is looming on the bench for Ryan. Aidan unable to really take that out in one hit, looking at the list here. And this Zacian V softening up this Dragonite means Aidan is in trouble.
Maybe I would have liked to see, you mentioned it earlier, attacking with the Pidgeot V.
Yeah.
And then going into this Dragonite.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that a lot too.
As we return now to Aidan's turn.
I think you just kind of have some like PTSD from doing the mistake with the Flight Surf the turn prior. Like, I'm never going to attack with this Pokemon again.
We say that as Aidan does play this Nest Ball, probably drawn off the prizes potentially, and finds the Pidgeot V once again. It's going to take a couple, at least one Mirage Gate and an attachment for turn to get it powered up.
Yeah, it's his only out right here.
Does have the Mirage Gate in hand, I believe, and a water energy.
But I think there's only one energy left in the deck, so he's going to need to play the Super Rod here. There's plenty of energies in the discard, and when I say plenty, okay, yeah, there's at least 3.
Yes, so there's at least 3, so there should be an attack here. Flight Surf once again, but this time should be a knockout. Super Rod is played, putting back in a Lightning, Water, and a Sableye.
Yeah, so the route to victory here is basically going to be maybe in combination with Echoing Horn. No, he's not playing Echoing Horn like we saw in Azul's list. So as long as this single Gardevoir EX is in play, it's going to be pretty rough for Aidan to take that last prize card.
Yes, as it is. I thought of a specific scenario where the Pidgeot takes the hit, goes back into the deck, finds it again, powers it up again.
Oh, well, here's the counter catcher that was in the hand, able to take the knockout on the Dragonite V. And just like that, Ryan Antonucci going up 1-0 in the finals here in Knoxville with Gardevoir EX.
Ooh, I'm sure Ryan is breathing a sigh of relief. It wasn't looking good there, but unfortunately, misplays do happen. Pidgeot V, not a typical attacker in any deck. Even ask a Snorlax player, I'm sure 100% they've never attacked with that card. And but
I don't think they ever attack, really.
Yep, that's for sure. As we do see, again here, just Aidan putting on the pressure with that Cramorant taking some early knockouts. We do see the boss's orders here earlier, knocking out the pivot, Comfey as well. And yeah, again, typically, so our attackers were basically just the Zacian V into the Screamtail, into a Garver. Oh, actually quite a few. As the Collapse Stadium, the pivotal Collapse Stadium there, just proving it was Ryan's stadium. Thus, the Pidgeot V only doing 80 damage. And
yeah, this opened up Screamtail to be able to take the knockout on a bench Comfey, leaving Ryan with just one prize card remaining after that double prize loss.
Cool. I'm sure, though, Aidan, again, a pro player, someone who's no stranger to the final stage. He's picking himself up. That's not that quick misplay is not going to bring down this entire game. I'm sure we're going to see a great game here for Game 2 here at the Knoxville Regional Championships as prizes are laid down. Radiant Greninja in the prizes, Jirachi Countercatcher, Worker. Nothing too notable for both players besides the Radiant Greninja, I believe. What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, that Countercatcher Roxanne is going to be pretty important later on in the game. Meanwhile, for Ryan, that Jirachi usually is pretty good in a matchup like this, but with the threat of Mawile, you still just have to believe. And oh, Zacian V in the active spot. That's a good start for Ryan here.
Zacian V once again. And a reminder, he only plays one. Seems to have started both games now. Typically, you don't see Zacian V most of the game. In a lot of games, because Shining Arcana Gardevoir is a great attacker in itself. As we do get started here, Battle VIP Pass once again. Battle VIP Pass is going to find Aidan a couple of Pokemon again. One of the most powerful cards, but only on the first turn of the game. Let's see what Aidan chooses.
Yeah, always great to start with the Battle VIP Pass. Unfortunately, starting that Cramorant means you don't have access just to a quick flower selecting from your active. But as long as Aidan has the energy or a switch out, you can go ahead and bring that Comfey to the active spot.
It looks like it is going to be the Comfey and the Pidgeot V. Comfey is going to start us off flower selecting 2 cards. What's the choice here?
Didn't get a good look at him, but with that Pidgeot V, kind of signals that there is a Forest Seal Stone in Aidan's hand, and sure enough, there is just that. Go along with a few energy.
But it is just going to be the attached Forest Seal Stone into a pass again. Just making it safe, making sure even past an Iono, we have access to anything we want in the deck, as Ryan Antonucci is going to start us off with a Battle VIP Pass of their own. They're going to do a quick deck check here. Just going to count up all the Pokemon. Luckily, hopefully we have enough Corlias in the deck this time where we just don't Mirage Step to 1.
Yeah. And there's going to be just enough, and this Battle VIP Pass is pretty good to start off with. But Ryan's hand is kind of the same exact hand he had the previous game, where it's boss's orders, and then not much other cards you can really play to capitalize your position here.
That is fair. There is a rare candy. Maybe we could get into a rare candy Gardevoir the next turn at the very least. We'll have to see. It is going to be the Battle VIP Pass for both two Ralts here. Did you see at least an energy in hand, Jeremy?
I did not, but he is going back in, it seems like. I don't know how you can go back in with his hand. Oh, the Roar of the Sword, that's right.
I was checking it as well, but yeah, Roar of the Sword, again, able to attach an energy from the deck, but it does end your turn. Got to go for the boss's orders, potentially.
Yeah, boss, Cramorant, and it's now stuck in the active just a little bit yet again. Ryan trying to buy time to draw into something like an Iono, which he has not really seen game 1 or this game 2.
Ooh. As the energy attachment there onto the Zacian, Aidan here is going to play the Escape Rope. Escape Rope means both players switch out. Ralt's now in the active. Aidan going to go ahead and flower select. What is the grab here for Aidan? I'm sure Ryan is glad, though, to have the Ralt in the active now instead of the Zacian.
Yeah, even though it has the potential to get knocked out from this Cramorant, that does open up a Mirage Step play if Ryan draws into the cards needed, which is that Corlia and a Psychic Energy. If the Zacian V was in the active spot, you actually had no way of getting it out of the active spot and attaching for the turn.
That is true. Do you think Ryan should have roared the sword into a Ralts then, just for this specific potential, just so that all you need is to top deck the Mirage set potentially. But
it's definitely something that could have been an option. It really just relies on Aidan to play an escape rope, which there's only 2 copies in his deck, so it's not very likely, but it did happen. So hindsight's 2020.
Yes, again, as Flower Select played again, the second escape rope now in the Lost Zone. 3 cards now in the Lost Zone for Aidan. Is going to be able to use that Forest Seal Stone to find themselves anything they want from the deck.
Is it really anything when you're a Lost Zone player?
We can have the illusion of choice, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's always Colress's experiment, especially this early on in the game.
Yes, again, I believe the deck just does not work without the Colress experiment. Draw 5 cards, 2 cards of the Lost Zone. That will bring up the Lost Zone count to 5. And that means we're going to be spitting. As
hopefully not.
Well, Cramorant will.
All right,
with that switch card into the active. A lot of cards again in the hand. This board seems very, very similar to game 1 as Zacian V now promoted to the active.
All right, we can rare candy that Gardevoir and draw a couple cards.
If you rare candy into the Gardevoir, that means there's no more access to Gardevoir EX currently, but was worth it.
That was
Shining
actually
Arcana,
the best too, honestly.
That was, yeah, I have to agree. I think Ryan Antonucci is just the best Shining Arcana drawer. Shining Arcana user as...
Shining Arcana gamer.
Okay, yeah, that works. As, again, because of Shining Arcana does get the free attachment onto the Zacian V, was lacking 1 energy attachment to be able to attack there. Plus the Iono only has to draw an energy to attack. Would like to see a Ralts as well.
The Artisan could do just that. Also have Ultra Ball in hand.
Has a lot of cards.
Could even attach the reversal energy to the Gardevoir, take a knockout that way.
A lot of options here. What would you choose, the Gardevoir or the Zacian V as the attacker?
Zacian for sure. You already have those 2 energies on there. Yep. Just try to get another Waltz in play. Hopefully set up a Curlia for next turn. That Gardevoir on the bench is your only source of draw right now, and you really need to prioritize keeping that in play.
Yes. Now Artisan being played again is able to find any basic non-rule box Pokemon, finds the Ralts, just what Ryan needed. Needs to really re-establish the board. And again, I have to remind the folks at home, Ryan can only depend on these psychic Pokemon that can attack, because not only is he playing the Lost Box game, he's playing around the Tempting Trap, which he has been doing quite effectively.
Yeah, when you don't start one of those non-psychic Pokemon and don't have to bench down any other ones, it's going to be pretty good game there.
As an attachment 4 turn on the Zacian V activates, the Storm Slash was for 150, taking a knockout there on the Cramorant. It's going to be the Chorus experiment on Aidan's side. What does he find? What does he need, Jeremy?
Well, with this Chorus's experiment, you have 7 in the Lost Zone now, so that means that Mirage Gate is now live. Hisuian Heavy Ball can go ahead and find Pokemon if it's there. Radiant Greninja.
That's a pretty good Pokemon to find.
Dragonite V is going to be the card to try to find right now. That's the one card that can take a 1-hit knockout on the Zacian V in the active spot. And if Aidan goes for that, can put on a ton of pressure and force this reversal energy from Ryan's hand.
Yes, right now, Aidan has 7 cards in the Lost Zone, is going to use that Concealed Cards, draws 2. I think that was either a Recycler or at least a Switch card. 7 cards now in the Lost Zone. Mirage Gate is activated, is live. Mirage Gate in hand, has a Lightning Energy.
I just don't think he has access to Pokemon Search for that Dragonite. So he's going to have to go with a Moonlight Shuriken here. It's still going to be able to take down the Ralts and damage either the Zacian V or that Gardevoir.
If I put a Lightning instead of a Psychic?
Big turn instead, looks like.
No.
Looks like the choice was choosing the Psychic or the Lightning Energy as the attachment.
What?
Again, just confirming with the judges if this is allowed.
Sorry, no, I'm not doing take backs. No, cool.
It looks like it is going to be the Psychic Energy remaining attached to the Greninja. Nothing too big. Again, energy recursion. There's a lot of energy recursion in Aidan's deck, as only lacking a water energy attachment now for turn.
I'm not offended at all.
Flower selecting here.
Oh, Palpat is going to hit the Lost Zone. Must have been a tough choice.
Looks like it was either the boss's orders or just another water energy. But with the switch card, Aidan has the Moonlight Shuriken able to take the knockout on the Ralts. It's going to be interesting to see where he places the damage counter. Two definitely good options there. Just have to decide which one. Looks like that Shining Arcana.
Yes, 90 damage to 2 Pokemon. Knocking out the Ralts, taking a prize. Aidan, Khus, now 4 prizes to Ryan's 5. Back to Ryan. Again, does have the Zacian V already powered up. Should have a response into the Radiant Greninja. It's just the board. The board is not getting set up. Luckily, Artazone still in play, able to find a replacement Ralts.
Yeah, this is all Ryan can really do. 2 Ralts have already been knocked out. Just trying his best to get some form of Kirlia into play. And with the Zacian still in the active spot, has that constant pressure. So is that another energy off of Shining Arcana?
It is free energy right now onto the free energy attachment because of this Shining Arcana ability. Was also able to draw the Scream Tail, which we saw was a great attacker. Playing the Worker as well, draws 3, but gets rid of the Artazone that has helped out so much. But 3 extra cards seems only fair.
Yeah, Worker is not a May effect. If there's a Stadium in play, it does get discarded.
As Ryan still has energy in hand, could even slowly manually attach into this Shining Arcana. Gardevoir does have time. Besides that, I don't think I see any other play available in the hand.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Aidan is able to put together a Sableye turn on the following turn, take the knockout on the Gardevoir and the Ralts, because that is 120 damage between the two. And if Ryan is left with just the Zacian V in play, I think this game's pretty much over.
There is an Ultra Ball in Ryan Antonucci's hand.
Yeah, it's going to need to play that Super Rod first because there's no more Ralts in the deck.
I'm almost tempted to find the Jirachi, though, but again...
Yeah, how long do you think Tempting Trap would take to deck Ryan out with 40 minutes left?
I'm sure there's time. But yes, it looks like it is going to be just the Ralts grabbed. Super Rod was just played. Ralts just hanging out there on the side. But yeah, I believe, the Ultra Ball already has been played as well. So yeah, just grabbing the Ralts here, making sure we have at least one of those after this turn. But that would definitely be big. The Lost Mine attack from Aidan.
You just meant both.
Yeah, but at least getting 2 Ralts down means you're guaranteed to at least have some semblance of the Gardevoir line in play on the following turn. And tying it up now, 4-4 prize cards.
As Storm Slash knocked out once again. Aidan Khus just finds the Chorus Experiment with that. Should be at 10 cards in the Lost Zone. The only question is, what attacker are we going with? There's even the Dragonite V option in hand. Ooh, Aqua Storm Kyogre sent to the Lost Zone, so no Aqua Storm this game. As Flower Selecting played once again, I believe the choice was a switch card or an energy. Opting to keep the switch card, going for another Flower Selecting, just thinning the deck.
This time kept the Pokestop.
Ooh, Pokestop now, being able to discard the top 3 cards. Nope, no items, just thinning the deck even more. Why not?
Be pretty good if you still had access to Kyogre, but you have to shift game plans now and worry about the resources left for your deck. And having this Dragonite V here kind of signifies that Aidan's going to go for a Dragon Gale on the Zacian V.
Ooh, yes, dropping the Dragonite V with the Water Energy. That's commitment there. That is going to stick in the field. That's a 2-prize Pokemon, but it should be worth it if they could get the knockout on the Zacian V. Energy Recycler now being played. Going to shuffle in the Lightning, the Water, the Psychic, even more Water and Psychic. 5 full energies back into the deck. Definitely a lot of energies to be able to Mirage Gate, which is in the hand. As, yes, Mirage Gate is going to be played. Going to find the Lightning and the Water Energy. There should be a switch in hand.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there a switch out? I'm not quite sure.
I couldn't quite see it, actually. Aidan did have to play 2 switch cards to use Comfey twice this turn.
As already attached from the hand with that Dragonite V.
That would be very problematic if there was no switch card in this hand. just going to have to see.
Oh, no, there's not.
Oh, dear.
This
Okay.
has to have been some sort of missequence for this entire turn. But just a pass back to Ryan, kind of escaped that turn and now has access to get 2 Curlia into play and start refinement here. And we could see a game now.
Ooh, big miss there for Aidan. Again, did flower selecting very aggressively there. Did thin the deck, but didn't quite find another switch. As, again, Ryan plays the Curlia.
Arcana.
Is going to start with the Arcana. How many energies do you think he's going to draw here?
No, none.
Curlia is just as good, though.
Yeah, already had the level ball in hand, but now can use that to fetch out the other Ralts that was put into the deck.
As refinement is played, does have the Iono here to try and disrupt a little bit. Aidan, I believe, has 5 cards in hand, so it's just a mini disruption, 5-4, as refinement Curlia is played down as well. Ryan does have a knockout in the active once again. Going to be refinement. What is he looking for? Finds the Mew, finds another Iono.
Yeah, this Zacian V has been putting in a ton of work throughout both of these games and still just having no damage on it. Able to cleanly take KOs on these single prize Pokemon, and the fact that Aidan went for the Dragonite but didn't have the retreat just means that he is that much behind.
Yes, and importantly as well, since the Ralts was able to evolve to Curlia, the damage isn't enough now.
Yeah, there's no 2-prize turn for a Sableye to clean things up. So Aidan, again, is going to have to try to figure out how to navigate this board state.
It's going to be tough here, as energy attachment onto the Zacian V. It is enough, does have enough energy to knock out the Comfey.
Yeah, I like it on the Gardevoir, especially seeing that Dragonite V with the 3 energy already, ready to take the knockout on Zacian V. You want to give yourself as much of an option for that Gardevoir to be able to take the knockout, and with that reversal energy, could be triggered the following turn, so already having 5 energy on there.
Very scary indeed. So despite Zacian being a very, very juicy target, does Aidan knock it out?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. There's also the potential of a counter catcher or boss's orders from Aidan's side of the board. Maybe just shred the Gardevoir and go from there. But promoting the Dragonite, it seems like.
Yes. Again, Storm Slash was the attack there, taking another prize. Ryan Antonucci down to 3. Does also get another Ralt into play. So a 2-prize turn is still possible with the Sableye, potentially.
Yeah, and I think that's why you see Aidan decide to promote that Comfey, maybe dig a little bit for a Super Rod to get back to Sableye if it's in the discard, or if it's in the deck, just try to hunt it down. Ooh. You see that Psychic Energy there. 2
Psychic Energies, I believe. Chorus Experiment sending the Pokegear and the Force Seal Stone to the Lost Zone. What else does Aidan have? Has at least an attachment to Retreat. Has that bare minimum, has also 5 cards left in the deck, mind you, and we're not Aqua Storming this game, as Flower Selecting is played, sending the Mirage Gate.
Yep, did find the Sableye, but again, no way in hand to attach an energy to the Sableye and get that Comfey out of the active spot, and that has been the past 2 turns for Aidan now.
Sableye, I think, might have been the most ideal attacker here. Take 2 prizes, and then take 2 prizes again, wouldn't you say? But it's just going to be an attachment there onto the Comfey, and might just be an attack with the Dragonite into the Zacian. He might just be falling right into Ryan's plan here, right into Ryan's trap for once. And again, Dragon Gale, 250 damage, but first, Pidgeot is going to fly away. The Vanishing Wings ability. I even totally forgot that Pidgeot was there. That's how intense this game was.
It was vanishing.
As we do see, yes, Pidgeot into the deck. We're not going to use that attack this time. And yeah, Dragon Gale should be more than enough to take the knockout on the Zacian. Going to use the Lost Vacuum as well, getting rid of the Pokestop.
Again, Aidan's just trying to thin out the hand as much as possible here in preparation for a potential Iono. The problem is, looking at Ryan's hand, he has Ultra Ball, Rare Candy that's going to be able to get the Ralts out of harm's way with a Gardevoir EX. You already have those 2 Curlia, so no 2-prize turn available for Aidan the following turn if he sees that line of play, which should be pretty standard.
Ryan does draw for turn here. Does have potentially 6 free cards with the Shining Arcana and Refinements. And yeah, we're not forgetting damage onto the bench, 20 damage a pop there. And Ryan, the world is his oyster, has so many cards. He's like, is he eyeing to Ultra Ball away the Mew? Is that a line? Is there an Echoing Horn?
No, Echoing Horn. Mew's also just another Pokemon that can start attacking. Debated about discarding that Jirachi, but again, you never know. You see Azul play the Echoing Horn in a list that's very similar, so you always need to be worried about it. But wow, a second reversal energy.
Big play there. Second reversal attached to the Shining Arcana, and then the Rare Candy Gardevoir EX, which he didn't even need. Just needed to evolve just to get more HP, but this Shining Arcana Gardevoir has been self-sufficient, basically. Most of Ryan's energies have been attached without the use of a Gardevoir EX.
It's a single Gardevoir that don't need no Glade.
And I believe Iono now is the play. Ryan drawing 3, Aidan drawing 2. Yes, Aidan was able to thin out the deck. This is going to be 2 big cards here. Ryan draws 3, still has access to Refinement, to Arcana. It's looking rough here for Aidan. How can he come back?
The Kyogre that's in the Lost Zone. That would be the best way to come back here. Maybe you cobble together a Super Rod with that Radiant Greninja, and you can Moonlight Shuriken, both of the Kirlia, but Ryan drew into the Shining Arcana Gardevoir, so that's going to cut off this route. I guess you can still Moonlight Shuriken the active and the other bench Kirlia, unless you just find another Gardevoir off this Shining Arcana.
As Shining Arcana is now played. Psychic Energy, do we attach it? It's free. Now opting to keep it in the hand there. He's going to refine, though, the Battle VIP Pass does find the Gardevoir EX. Do we evolve here? Yes, we
100%.
do. Is this just a checkmate scenario now?
Yeah, this is very bad news for Aidan. Still hasn't even used the active Shining Arcana, doing as much as possible. And with this, Ryan has the knockout, the 2 prizes going down to 1 prize card. And then either of the Gardevoir EX are able to charge up anything, really, to take the knockout on the rest of Aidan's Pokemon. And not having a big way to take a 1-hit knockout on that Gardevoir EX, something like Roaring Moon that we've seen in the past in some of these lists, it is pretty much checkmate, like you were saying.
Brainwave there does take the knockout onto Dragonite V. Back now to Aidan. Does promote the Comfey, has the Mirage Gate. There are options here. Look, eyeing up the Water Energy and the Psychic Energy. Could just potentially be a Lost Mine, but I think it's a Lost Mine that's a little bit too late. As Nest Ball is going to be played. Does find the Pidgeot V. What is the line here? Pidgeot V can possibly attack once again. But again, Shining Arcana Gardevoir already on the bench. Does go Flower selecting, I believe, found a Boss's Orders or the Counter Catcher.
Yeah, either one's not really going to do too much on this board state. Just the fact that Ryan found that Rare Candy Gardevoir, the Shining Arcana Gardevoir, and then found the Gardevoir EX.
This might be the route. This might be a route, Jeremy. Could go for the Lost Mine until the active 120 damage does prevent.
That is true, yeah. There's no double energy. Both the reversals are on that Gardevoir, and they're not going to be triggered anyway. And with 120 on the active, you can't Psychic Embrace to this Gardevoir. I think Aidan found the line.
Leave it to Aidan to find the line, but Ryan Antonucci, what is he known for? Shining Arcana attach.
Yeah, if he would have attached that Psychic Energy that he found off the Shining Arcana last turn to this Gardevoir, could have avoided this scenario.
Level Ball, there is still 2 energies in the discard pile. Could even buff that up with maybe something like a Super Rod potentially. Does find the Manaphy just to thin out of the hand. There's a lot of energies in hand here.
Oh, yeah. Maybe even... not even finding like Iono and then shuffling back the energies to the bottom because they're going to be on the bottom. This is all about hitting one of those 2 energies off of your 2 Shining Arcana here to be able to retreat and take the game and the regional championship with him.
Leave it to Aidan to find a way energy attachment from the hand. Nothing else can be played. Nothing else can be used to thin the deck. Maybe the Fog Crystal to try and thin a Psychic Pokemon. You don't want to take the basic energy.
Oh, we're going with Professor's Research here.
Could possibly draw.
As long as he doesn't draw both of the energy, this is going to be game over.
Super Rod could help him out here.
Oh,
does he find the
Super
Super
Rod?
Rod?
One. There's one left in the deck.
How many cards left in the deck?
I think there's only 3.
3 cards in the deck. Here we go. What is Ryan Antonucci known for? Ultra Ball played, just checking the deck. There is one basic Psychic energy in the deck. Shining Arcana attachment, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Antonucci is your Knoxville Regional Champion. Gardevoir takes it all.
Finally finding that big win in the Masters Division, and Ryan Antonucci punches his ticket to Honolulu. He's going to join all of our great regional champions on our graphic, and doing it in style with Gardevoir EX. Congratulations to Aidan Khus again. Second place, nothing to be ashamed about.
Not too bad there from Aidan. Again, was so close to another regional win, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do cast another one of his games and he takes another regional win for sure. But again, this is Ryan Antonucci's tournament. This was Gardevoir's tournament. As we do see a couple of replays here. The Mirage Step, I believe, for one, but Aidan just having the knockout on one of the Kirlias, leaving Ryan with only the lone Kirlia to play. But that Zacian was just ready to attack. And attack it did into the Comfey on the bench.
Yeah, unfortunately, this game one was just kind of spoiled a little bit by that misstep with that Flight Surf. Not able to take the knockout on the Zacian, which meant Ryan just needed 2 prize cards to be able to take game 1. Screamtail provided one of those. And Aidan had to play around with some of the attacks here, taking a knockout with that Pidgeot V, but Ryan able to have that counter catcher, bring up that